The time is now 6:16 and it's time for What's Trending. A scary moment during a live broadcast in West Virginia on Thursday morning. WSAZ reporter Tori Yorgi was about to give her live report on the water main break due to freezing temperatures when a car came out of nowhere and hit her. Let's take a look. Thankfully, Yorgi was okay. She got right back up, but of course seemed a little shaken. Yorgi mentioned she had previously been hit by a car in college, and then she moved her camera and positioned herself out of the way and continued her report. Now, for many people who don't know, typically multimedia journalists do go out by themselves and film stories as a one-man band, and this isn't something that's unusual. This is a scary situation and shouldn't be happening, but unfortunately did. She is okay. I've heard reports that she is fine, but it's just something to be very cognizant of when you do see a reporter out there, that they are doing everything they can to bring about the best reporting that they can to the viewers, and sometimes it can be a scary situation for us out in the field.
For sure, like I couldn't believe when I first saw it live, like that it actually happened. There's been other cases of scary instances with reporters out on set before, but I'll give her credit that she did get up and finish her report.
Yeah, that is very brave. I mean, I know it's definitely a very touchy subject, which is why we're being careful with what we say here, but we're happy to see this reporter is okay, and yeah, this is a good PSA for all of us here. Let's be careful whenever we see a reporter nearby, and anyone that's out and about too, because I mean, it can get a little dangerous out there. I mean, reporters work hard to inform you at home about what's going on, and we're thankful that person is okay, and I know it might spur some discussions on how reporters can be safer when out doing their jobs.
Yeah, and hopefully this will, like you said, spur discussions to be able to have someone with them so that there is that added protection and another set of eyes to make sure the scene is safe.
Exactly. I know. I always agree here. Maybe at least a couple people should at least be out on a story, especially one like that where it's kind of very fluid and you just don't know, especially along the side of the road with a water main break. I mean, anything could possibly happen with a car.
For sure. Well, let's take a turn till last year, and as hard as 2021 was, a lot of people were apparently in the mood to celebrate. The world bought more champagne than ever last year. We're talking billions worth of bubbly sales, and exports set new records despite pandemic lockdowns that forced the closure of many bars and restaurants. Trade Association Committee Champagne says Finance exported a record 180 million bottles of champagne in 2021, a 38% increase over 2020. As for global sales, they hit a record totally $6.2 billion. Those numbers are surprising considering tourism and event planning have been down due to the pandemic. In a statement, Committee Champagne offered a possible explanation. People are just drinking more at home.
Cheers.
Cheers for sure. Champagne, like I could just drink if you give it to me, but really mimosas are my favorite.
Yeah, I'm definitely more of a Prosecco drinker, which had a few bottles of that this year, so I guess I contributed to some of that. But yeah, that's really cool. But I know alcohol consumption definitely went up over the pandemic. More people were drinking at home. I did a story with Leinenkugel, and they actually changed from making bottles to making aluminum cans because that was what the market wanted. So it's kind of interesting to see how the market shifted during people's preferences during the pandemic.
Yeah, it's interesting to see just how things changed over time, though. I mean, obviously alcohol consumption has gone up too. I know for me, I don't drink a lot of champagne usually, but whenever you get to enjoy an alcoholic beverage, it's kind of nice to be able to just sit back and relax, or wherever you're going, just kind of just enjoy yourself too. I know that's what people really wanted to do, is definitely enjoy themselves, and we'll have to see what this year brings as things kind of get going. But meanwhile, though, another interesting story: plans have been laid for a new film studio that will get Hollywood stars a lot closer to the actual stars. Variety magazine reports that Space Entertainment Enterprises, the company co-producing the cruise's upcoming space movie, plans to launch a zero-gravity production studio, and SEE wants the module to also contain a sports and entertainment area as well as a content studio. It's called C1, and the company is planning to build it by December of 2024. That's 2 years down the road. It will also host anyone in entertainment and sports who wants to work in a low-orbit microgravity environment, and all those who can afford it anyway. Sea will also produce its own content and host its own events. And Axiom Space will do the construction of the studio. And that's the same company that last year won NASA's approval to build a commercial component of the International Space Station. So lots of interesting stuff going on there with Megan. I'm actually at a loss for words. It's actually kind of really cool to think about. I mean, another space story. We were just talking about another space story, and here we go again. We got another one here.
We've been having space stories for about a month now, and I think that's really cool, especially with Jeff Bezos and everyone else like making their zero gravity orbits or almost hitting the sound barrier, whatever it is. They've been, you know, making their space travel. So it's cool that like we're making all these advancements as fast as we're doing, especially this year has been a massive year for that.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't wait to see some of the shots because like zero gravity, the cameras are going to actually be really still, and you can actually do really cool like slow zoom-ins, and I think shooting the story would actually be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll have to see how this all develops as time moves on.